Can you imagine getting into a conference room and you know that someone says without an issue, "Oh yeah, guys, I'm currently having an anxiety attack." They won't. They will maybe try to find an excuse to leave the room. Or how many people do you know in this room that maybe had possible cancer threats or a partner who is going through cancer or like these tough issues? And the fact is that we are not like we don't operate in roles. Like who you are 10 minutes before you enter your office room is still the same person who's in that office room as when you leave. And these things are some of the biggest things that influence our well-being in the world. Like, for example, WHO, they said that sanitation is the most unspoken is still one of the biggest taboos because we don't speak about poop openly. And how can you think about if governing bodies cannot speak about something? How can they deal with that? How
Yeah.
can you deal in the company with issues if you don't speak about it? If you don't know what bothers your people, how do you know that they're good, that they're performing well? And the only thing that you see, oh, that person is not performing. And we're going to speak about it before the red alarm. Instead of actually going and checking in, guys, how are you? What's wrong? Do you want to pick up something?
Mm.
And one way, of course, to deal with it is, of course, to decide on policies and to create policies upfront and then show it to people and say, okay, this is how we were thinking about dealing with this topic. Are you fine with that? Are you okay with that? I found last year in November because it was a World Menopause Day and there was a menopause policy in a company because they realized that their colleagues who were going through menopause weren't really feeling well. They were not operating the best. And they just discussed and they said, what would help you? What would help you to make that? And now another person knows that, oh, yeah, I don't have to go and tell them I'm going through menopause. I can just address that. I can speak to HR. And I think, of course, it all does like this sort of subconscious things to your staff to know, oh, yeah, my company thought about that and they made it and they found it important enough to actually make a policy about that.